Our story we're talking about this morning is dealing with grief. It is an emotional journey, but for children, it can be especially hard to navigate. And that's why the New Hope Center for Grief Support is hosting a really important event each year. It is called Kids Grief Camp, and it allows children to connect with others, letting them know they're not alone. And this is important, so we brought in folks to talk about it. Joining us right now, more on this camp is Jennifer Frush, the Executive Director of New Hope Center for Grief Support, and Laurel Neitling. She is the Circles of Hope Program Manager. So thank you, ladies, for taking the time to talk to us. I'm going to start with you, Jennifer.
Yes.
It's a hard topic, and your heart goes out. And I think when families are dealing with this, either from a parent standpoint or a family standpoint, you take that child and you put your arms around them and you're holding them tight. But they enter the world, and they have school, and they have sports, and they have friends, and they have things that happen, and it's really, really hard on them. So this camp is important. Talk to us a little bit about why the need is out there and what you're seeing.
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for having us. So the need for grief support is tremendous. Unfortunately, grief is an experience we're all going to face at one point or another. Unfortunately, death happens. Just as a society, we don't talk about it, so we're never prepared. And when we're working with children, children actually process this grief based on developmental stages. So they continue to grieve over and over until the brain is fully developed. So it's a lot of grief. And for those caregivers, processing that grief with them through each of those developmental stages can be a lot. So organizations like ours are really there to help them along the journey, whether it be now, weeks, months after the death, and then years, because milestones, grief never goes away. It will always be with us, but you can learn to live with it and, experiencing hope and healing, and then new beginnings can transform from it.
So Laurel, dive into this in terms of the programs, exactly what kind of things go on at this camp that are different than other camps that help these kids?
Yeah, so our camp has a variety of different stations that the kids rotate through. So to start off the day, all of the kids get split into groups based on their age. So they're with other peers that really understand what it's like to be that little and experience grief. And then after that, they get to rotate through 11 different activity stations. So the day is packed full of fun, but also some different coping strategies and just chances to experience and talk about their grief. So some of the activities are football and baseball and art and songwriting and horse therapy. We really try to find something for every type of child and hopefully expose them to some new coping strategies to help them navigate grief as they continue to grow and get older.
And Jennifer, you've been doing this for years, and the camping numbers, you said nearly 150 to 200 campers this year?
Yeah, I think Laurel can speak better to it, but I believe we're at 170 and we have a good month before camp. And that's usually when we see the increase is the couple weeks before camp. So we're prepared, we're ready. We have over 150 volunteers that will help us fulfill this 2-day amazing camp.
And talk to me a little bit about the child. I would assume many times the grief is from a parent, but it can also be from a grandparent, from a sibling. Yeah. What do you typically see?
So predominantly, most of our children have experienced a parent loss. Many of them have also experienced a sibling loss. I can give you some stats for the state of Michigan. 1 in 11 children under the age of 18 will be bereaved, losing a parent or a sibling in the home.
Wow.
So that's a lot of kids.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So we just find that the need, especially as we go into Wayne County, that number drops more significantly. So this is a safe place to explore and learn about those emotions and reactions so you feel a little bit better prepared when they arise in the journey. And then just a safe place to talk about your person. Oftentimes, especially adults are guilty of this. We don't want to bring the
You don't want to upset them, so you don't bring them up, and then there's no time to cope.
So you never talk about your person, and they're part of you. They're part of your DNA, and so this really provides a great space. And a lot of it is based around kids don't know how to grieve, so they watch the big people in their worlds to learn how to do it. So we're showing them firsthand how to do it and doing it right with them.
And so, Laura, when you see this, they start this day, they have 2 days, of work, really, but also fun. What have you seen as the changes in the end? What are they doing differently, or how are they figuring out? We can say the word cope, but what does that mean for them? What do they do?
I would say when you first watch a lot of these kids walk in, they don't know anybody. They have no idea what to expect, and they come in and they're scared and they don't want to talk. And then over the course of 2 days, you watch them build this incredible rapport with not only each other, but with the volunteers, and really just just trying to build that connection and find out there's other kids that understand what it's like to walk in similar shoes. And then you also watch them start to just continue to open up their story and get comfortable talking about their grief, because it's hard for adults to do. So
Right.
trying to do that when you're age 4 or 5 is incredibly difficult, but you watch them get more comfortable and they start sharing more pieces. And by the end of day 2, they're sharing details that they would have never even thought of talking about day 1. And they really just get more comfortable with their story and each other.
Can you give me just the basics of what camp is like the hours and location and all
Absolutely.
that stuff? Because someone might say, "Oh wait, do they stay up late? How do they
Absolutely.
get food?" Just the basic, the mom stuff that we need to know.
We can do all that. So the camp runs from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and it's July 24th and 25th, and it's going to be taking place at Millennium Park in Northville, Michigan.
And it's open to ages 4 to 14.
4 to 14.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll take teens. We need lots of teens to help keep busy with the kids throughout the day. And then anybody in the community that wants to come out for a great cause and help, we are always looking for volunteers.
I love that because I think that's so important. There's so many schools and programs that are asking their kids to do volunteer hours, and you want them to find something that they can connect with, and this sounds like something that they would be able to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll put all that information on clickondetroit.com if folks would like to learn a little bit more about Kids Camp.